Foundation coming at you with my Cowboys versus the Eagles. Huge rivalry game. You know who I roll in with. Come on. But anyway, so it's a little storytelling time, I mean, growing up, from Hawaii and all that, and not really understanding football, I didn't really take into this rivalry until like about 87. In fact, I didn't really watch any games from the Eagles, because like I said, I was like, 83, that, and it was hard to watch some games, but I remember when, the Eagles felt that we ran out the ball and then that score, and then Buddy Ryan took them personal, and then he did them back to us, and then from then they for a long time they kicked our butts, the bounty ball game. When Jimmy Johnson, I want to tell him something, took his fat butt back in the, them, dousing the team with batteries and stuff like that. And what used to irritate me, was a guy that does the radio. I think it's a radio broadcast, or he does the broadcast for the Eagles. Every time you used to hear him on NFL, inside the NFL or NFL films and stuff like that. Man, that guy has an irritating voice. It's like, especially the game in, the game when Aikman got sacked 11 times, and all you hear is like, "I think I don't know the game," such an irritating voice. It's like if I was sitting next to him, it's like, shut up. I mean, that's how irritating his voice is. But I'm pretty sure the Eagles fans love that guy. But anyway, then you saw the shift turning, and especially when we got Big E to go up against Reggie White, and that's a matchup. That's a matchup we're talking about. Those two guys who talk about big body bang, And then when the momentum started shifting, when we ran that one play against them, the lead draw, Emmett just destroyed them, Also, Eric Allen versus Michael Irvin. That was a damn good matchup. I used to love that matchup. And then what irritated me for a long time, and it took me a couple of years to get over it. When Michael Irvin got hurt, basically ended his career. When Eagles fans was cheering. When I heard that, I was like, okay. And it took me a couple of years, honestly. There was a damn good thing that the social media wasn't as big. I used to go in, I just started, every now and then I used to go in chat rooms, and I used to go at it with some fans, Eagles fans. I was like, yeah, I hope they break this guy's damn neck, that's how mad I was, go for the knees, I was hoping like Eric Williams would slam somebody, on top of their head or something like that. That's how pissed I was, so yeah. But then after a while, I got over it, not got over it. I said I got over it, but I haven't forgotten, but it's not like to the point where I'm wishing injury. Even when T.O. got injured, I never, I was like, I would say I was just numb to the thing. I was just like, oh, okay, they lost him, they lost him, like kind of like that. And the Witten running without his helmet, we blanking them, and they got us back to 44-6, basically getting T.O. kicked out, and then we blanking them in 2009, and then Romo's first playoff victory was against them, and then the Thanksgiving massacre, and also then we get our revenge. What his name? There's Bryant, getting that huge game. So it's it's a huge rivalry. But yeah, going on to this game, I never know. Basically, I never know what they was gonna do with the quarterback challenge. With Wentz and Prescott. So I guess they're gonna fly to like how they used to held them held them in on Kawhi. I guess they're gonna do the, when the targets go around, and they're gonna try to maybe do the post. Yeah, I guess what this game gonna be, yeah. Because all I'm hearing is Dak and Wentz. That's all I'm hearing. But I mean, it's fun for talk about, but it is not about that. For me, this matchup is their defensive line versus our offensive line. That's their strength. That's our strength. So it is, but then on top of that, this is a 3-phase game. Offense, defense, and special teams. I mean, we hear Garrett spread, but then this game is especially like that because, I think Eagles get like 3. I think they get maybe 4 special teams returns. I'm not sure, but I know they get 4. I know they get some returns. I know the last 2 weeks they have 2 returns. So, and all that. And really quick into the Dak and Wentz thing. Since everybody keep on going on, some people saying that, Cowboys fans going, oh, he doesn't have a defense, so which is true. So like, yeah, that's the pressure on Dak. That's the pressure on Dak. Like you have to. He has. I mean, well, with the offense and with the team, the offensive team, they got to make sure they're very efficient. They're very sound. They're not stupid with the ball. They gotta. I mean, I'm pretty sure they like hitting home run every time. But as long as they're controlling the tempo of the game and scoring touchdowns, because our defense has been very Johnny on the spot, stepped up in big situations and all that, came up with key blocks and getting takeaways, so key plays at certain times. So but the thing is that with Dak at quarterback, he has to make sure that we're very efficient, and and he has to be careful with the ball. But yeah, like again, offensively, he has Witten to rely on. He has Beasley to rely on, and especially with our running game with Zeke, and that's the thing that like what's irritating me. Like I mean, I get it. I mean, I am a Zeke fan. I'm a huge Zeke fan. But at the same time, like I did not think that oh yes, Zeke versus the Eagles defense. I was thinking, my first thought was offensive line versus defensive line. So it's kind of irritating me. Like man, and I kind of hoping that Zeke has a huge game. So like everybody can be quiet kind of thing. And then as for Wentz, he offensively he has to carry, because his wide receivers hasn't been, has kind of tailed off a little bit. But they still has Darren Sproles, and Darren Sproles is one guy that you cannot lose sight of that guy, because he can burn you at any time. But again, like. Yeah, he has to, he has the pressure of, doing a little bit more carrying and all that. But then at the same time, he's not pressured to score as high because he has that defense. I think they got like 2 or 3, maybe 2 touchdowns on defensive touchdowns. So, they're creating touchdowns, and all that. I know it's not something to rely on, but at the same time. That's one thing that he has going for him. He has a defense that can create a lot of turnovers, that can pretty much dominate a game. So, you just ask the Vikings that, So, and again, going back to the special teams, like this is a game of 3 phases. So, but the intriguing matchup again is their defensive line versus our offensive line. So it is. It's a war in the trenches, that's the way it's going to be. And on top of that, like everybody's seen who will win the matchup, Dak or Wentz. Wentz can have 300 yards, and and Dak could have 115 yards. As long as we win the game. As long as we win the game, and then we put a 2-game lead on the division, and we, if anything, we can go number 1 in the NFC. we can be top of the NFC, you know, control a little bit, controlling more of our destiny, kind of thing. When the playoff picture really gets into shape, we can start controlling our own destiny. That's what matters. I don't care about this damn Wentz versus Dak and all that. That's stupid. You know, 6, baby. That's what matters. That's the goal and all that. You know, yeah, smacking. You know, beating the Eagles is gonna be like, again, gonna be another great thing. But that's because one thing is it's in the division, and it also, you know, it is a rivalry. I mean, I haven't lost sight of that, but at the same time too, the ultimate goal is to win those to get into the playoffs and win the championship. So, you know, but anyway, that's my video. All right, mahalo for watching. Paniola boys, go Cowboys.